When I asked about the wedding, my son-in-law said we got married yesterday. It was for special people only. I asked my daughter and son-in-law a simple question at Sunday dinner. When's the wedding ceremony? I need to book your Uncle Vincent a flight from Ohio. My son-in-law Kyle didn't even look up from cutting his steak. He popped another piece into his mouth and said, "We got married yesterday, Roger. It was just for special people. You wouldn't have fit in." I sat there stunned in the penthouse apartment I pay for every month. The name's Roger Brennan. I'm 58 years old, and I've got calluses that'll never go away from nearly 40 years hauling rebar and pouring concrete. But looking at me that night, you'd just see an old guy in work boots who apparently wasn't special enough for his own daughter's wedding. 1 week later, Kyle called me screaming about rent being overdue. I gripped the phone and felt something cold settle in my chest. For the first time in years, I smiled and whispered, "Let me tell you something about structural integrity, son." Let me back up and tell you how a construction worker who built Chicago's skyline ended up getting played by a punk who's never lifted anything heavier than his phone. The dinner was at their place on North Lake Shore Drive. The view costs $4,500 a month, and I know because that money leaves my account every first of the month. Kyle and my daughter Patricia tell everyone they're successful entrepreneurs. Kyle's got some marketing thing going, and Patricia calls herself a lifestyle consultant. Truth is, their whole lifestyle gets subsidized by my retirement fund. Or at least that's what they think. I was trying to make conversation, keep things light. "So Patricia, Kyle," I said, cutting into my ribeye, "June's coming fast. Uncle Vincent wants to fly in for the ceremony. Hotel prices are going crazy. I need to nail down the date." The silence got thick real quick. Patricia put her fork down and gave Kyle this look. He was fidgeting with his wine glass, wouldn't meet my eyes. Finally, Kyle sighed like I was bothering him with something stupid. "Roger," he said, "never calls me dad unless he wants money. You don't need to book Uncle Vincent anything. Tell him to stay in Ohio." I was confused. "Did you change the venue? Push it back." "No," Patricia said quietly. "We got married yesterday, Saturday afternoon at the Ritz-Carlton." The room started spinning. "Yesterday? I was home watching baseball, waiting for my phone to ring with details. You got married yesterday and didn't call me?" Kyle looked annoyed, like I was making a big deal out of nothing. "It was a small ceremony, Roger. We kept it tight." Patricia let out this laugh that sounded like breaking glass. "Small?" "Kyle, stop lying." She turned to me with eyes colder than January in Chicago. "Look, Dad, we invited about 150 people. But it was for special people only, the kind who appreciate high society. Special people." The words hit like a sledgehammer to the chest. "You know how you are, Roger," Kyle continued, waving at my flannel shirt. "You'd have felt out of place with that crowd. We didn't want you standing around in your work clothes feeling awkward. It would have been embarrassing for everyone. We did it for you, really." I looked at my daughter, the little girl I carried on my shoulders, whose college I paid for by working triple overtime. "Patricia, is that true? You didn't invite your own father because I'd embarrass you. She wouldn't meet my eyes. Kyle's parents paid for everything, Dad. They had a guest list. We thought maybe we'd do a backyard thing later. You know, something more your speed. Burgers and beer, a backyard barbecue, while they drank champagne at the Ritz." That's when I saw it, the diamond ring on Patricia's finger, catching the chandelier light. I knew that ring intimately. 3 months ago, Kyle came begging for help buying the perfect engagement ring to show Patricia how much he loved her. I wrote a check for $18,000. I was staring at 18 grand of my money on the hand of a woman who just told me I wasn't special enough to watch her put it on. Something shifted in my chest. Not heartbreak. Something colder. The death of an illusion. I realized I wasn't a father to them. I was a checkbook. I was the dirty plumbing that kept their water running, necessary but meant to stay hidden behind the walls. I stood up. My chair scraped loud against the hardwood. "You leaving already?" Kyle asked, sounding relieved. "You haven't finished your steak." "Not hungry," I said. My voice was steady, surprisingly steady. Patricia rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic, Dad. It's just a party. We'll send you photos if any turned out good." I looked at her. I looked at that ring on her finger. I looked at Kyle reaching for the wine bottle to numb his own shame. "Congratulations on your wedding," I said. "Hope it was worth it." I walked to the door and closed it soft behind me. As I waited for the elevator, I didn't cry. I felt like a contractor who just realized a building needed to be condemned before it collapsed. I walked out into the Chicago night and looked up at that penthouse window glowing warm against the dark sky. They were up there probably laughing about how easy the old man took it. They had no idea they were dealing with Roger Brennan, the guy who didn't just build houses. I owned the company, the land, and most importantly, I owned the building they were sitting in. I pulled out my phone and called my lawyer Dorothy Martinez Sunday night, but she answered first ring. "Roger, everything okay?" "Dorothy," I said, staring up at that building, "pull the file on the North Lake Shore property, the one Patricia's in. The lease renewal's coming up next month. Want me to handle it automatically like usual?" I took a deep breath of cold air. "Tasted like freedom, do not renew it. And Dorothy, prepare an eviction notice. It's time my son-in-law learned what special people actually pay for rent." 3 days passed, and the silence from my daughter was deafening. I was at Lou's Diner on the south side, a place where coffee's strong, eggs are greasy, and the bill never hits $15. This was my world. Cracked vinyl seats and the smell of bacon grease and honest work. Way different from that sterile penthouse I was financing. My phone started buzzing. Kyle's photo lit up the screen. A picture I took at last year's barbecue before he got too good for backyard parties. I let it ring 3 times before answering. "Roger, are you there?" Kyle's voice was shrill, panicked. "No, hello, no, how are you? The landlord sent a notice. Rent's overdue. It's $4,800 total with late fees. You need to transfer it right now because they're being super aggressive this time." I sipped my coffee slow. The audacity was breathtaking. He was talking about the landlord being aggressive like I wasn't the one who signed his paychecks. $4,800, a lot of money, Kyle. I said, calm as you please. After all those wedding expenses, figured you too might have saved some to help out. "Roger, our capital's tied up in my branding venture," he said, using fancy words to make unemployment sound like a career. "After spending $25,000 on our dream wedding, we're stretched thin. We just need you to cover this month. We're stressed trying to start our married life, and this financial pressure is toxic. Just send the money, okay?" I leaned back in the booth. Could hear the kitchen clanging behind me. "I'll look into it. But Kyle, since I missed the wedding, maybe you could send some photos? Just want to see Patricia in her dress." Dead silence. "Oh, Roger," Kyle said, his voice dropping to fake sweet. "We actually didn't take any photos. Phone-free ceremony. We wanted everyone in the moment. You know, just a small, intimate thing. No photographers. The lie was so lazy, it was insulting. You don't spend 25 grand and rent the Ritz to have a phone-free wedding with no pictures." "I'll check my bank account," I said. "Great, thanks." And the line went dead. No goodbye, no love you. Just click. I put the phone down. My hand was shaking, not from age, but from rage so cold it felt like ice. She lied to my face. I waved over Jenny, the waitress college kid working doubles to pay tuition. "Jenny, you know about Instagram, right? If someone posted pictures but I'm not friends with them, can I still see?" She laughed. "If their profile's public, anyone can see. Who you looking for?" I gave her Patricia's full name. Jenny's thumbs flew across her phone screen. "Here she is," Jenny said, turning the phone toward me. "This her? Blonde, lots of makeup, looks like she's yelling at a salad? That's her." Jenny tapped the screen. "Oh wow, she got married this weekend. These photos are insane." I took the phone and put on my reading glasses. My heart cracked all over again. Hundreds of photos. It wasn't small, it was a spectacle. Drone shots of the venue, 8-tier cake, Patricia and Kyle posing in front of a wall of white roses that probably cost more than my first truck. They were laughing, drinking champagne, surrounded by people in tuxedos and designer gowns. Then I saw it, a video. Patricia's father-in-law holding a microphone on stage. I pressed play. To Kyle, the man bellowed, face flushed with drink, a true self-made man. He didn't rely on handouts. He built his success from nothing but his own grit and Patricia's support. "We're proud to welcome a man of such independent means into our family." The crowd cheered. Kyle stood up and bowed, soaking up applause for being self-made while wearing a suit I paid for. Living in a house I paid for, eating food I paid for, he erased me. He didn't just exclude me, he rewrote history. I handed the phone back to Jenny. "Thanks, sweetheart." Left a $20 tip on a $12 meal because Jenny deserved it more than Kyle deserved a penthouse. I sat in my pickup truck and opened my banking app. Saw the balance, a number built over nearly 40 years of sweat and smart investments. Worth about $35 million, though nobody knew it. I went to the transfer section, saw Kyle Coleman saved as a payee. My thumb hovered over the $4,800 amount. Would be so easy. I'd done it every month for 3 years. But then I heard those words echoing, self-made man. If he's self-made, I whispered to the empty cab, then he can pay his own rent. I canceled the transfer. For the first time in my life, I wasn't going to be the safety net. I was going to be gravity. 2 days later, I was standing in the elevator heading up to the penthouse. Told myself I was checking on the property. Deep down, I was looking for an excuse to forgive them. A father's heart is stubborn, keeps beating for his children even when they stab it. The elevator opened on the 41st floor. I walked to those double doors and pulled out my key ring, but when I tried to slide the key in, it hit plastic. They changed the locks, installed some high-tech scanner system to keep out the man who paid for the walls it was attached to. I stood there holding my useless brass key, feeling humiliation rise up my neck. Then I heard laughter from inside, loud, mocking laughter. "Oh my God," Patricia's voice rang out. "You should have seen his face when I told him we got married yesterday. He looked like a lost puppy. It was pathetic." Another voice. "Some friend I didn't recognize. Aren't you worried he'll cut you off? He pays for this place, doesn't he?" I waited for Patricia to defend me, waited for my daughter to say something about respect or family. Instead, Patricia laughed harder. "Please. That old man's just a walking ATM. He has no life, no friends. His whole existence revolves around trying to buy our love. He's terrified we'll leave him alone, so he pays whatever we ask. Walking ATM." The words hit like a punch to the gut. Honestly, Patricia continued, voice dripping with disgust. "Look at him. Those dirty work shirts, those gross boots. He looks like a janitor. Can you imagine him at the Ritz ruining our aesthetic? People would have thought we were charity cases." Then I heard Kyle chuckle, weak and cowardly. "Don't worry about the money, babe. Dad's easy to fool. He's soft. I just call him crying about startup pressure. Play the struggling son card. He eats it up. He loves feeling like the hero. He'll write a check before I finish talking." They were drinking my champagne, sitting on my furniture, living in my building, and laughing about manipulating the stupid old man. Something inside me crystallized. I wasn't Roger the father anymore. I was Roger Brennan, the man who'd crushed competitors in construction for 30 years. The man who knew a structural failure when he saw one. I didn't knock. I put my key back in my pocket, straightened my shirt, and walked back to the elevator. As the doors closed, I checked my watch. 2 p.m., Dorothy would still be in her office. I wasn't a worried parent going down. I was a businessman about to foreclose on a bad investment. I drove straight to Dorothy's office in the Loop. Walked past young lawyers in fancy suits who looked at me like I was maintenance. They didn't know I owned the building they were standing in. Dorothy was waiting by her window when I walked in. Didn't look at my boots or flannel. Looked at my face. "You look ready for war, Roger." I sat down in the leather chair. "Not ready for war, Dorothy. Ready for an eviction." She opened a thick folder labeled Brennan Holdings Asset Management. She knew the truth. Everyone else thought I was just a retired contractor with a decent pension. They didn't know that for nearly 40 years, every dollar went into real estate. When markets crashed, I bought. I didn't just build Chicago's skylines, I kept them. 5 residential towers, strip malls, the land under half the South Side, worth about $35 million, and my son-in-law treated me like a beggar. "Unit 41 at Lakeshore," I said. "Current tenants Kyle Coleman and Patricia Coleman. Rents $4,500 plus $300 amenities. I've been covering payments for 3 years." Dorothy nodded, typing. "The lease expires 1st of next month. Stop all transfers immediately. Initiate standard collection protocol." Dorothy stopped typing. Standard protocol means 3-day notice, late fees, formal eviction if they don't pay. That means sheriff putting furniture on the curb. I know what it means. I wrote the protocol. "Roger, that's your daughter." I stood up and walked to the window, looking out at the city I helped build. "Dorothy, treat them exactly like strangers who stopped paying. Don't use my name. Contact them as legal rep of the property management firm. Be cold, professional, ruthless. Are you doing this to punish them or teach them?" I turned back. "I'm doing this to find out who they are. I want to see what happens when the safety net disappears. If Kyle's the self-made man he claims, he'll figure it out. Get a job, move somewhere cheaper, apologize. And if he isn't, then he'll lose everything and rebuild from rubble like I did. Dorothy sighed. This is going to get ugly. When people like Kyle and Patricia get squeezed, they don't get humble. They get desperate. I've heard enough, I said. Send the notice. It was the 10th, and I parked 2 blocks from the tower, watching like a general surveying a battlefield. I knew exactly what was happening upstairs because I'd engineered it. Kyle would be staring at his laptop, trying to pay the American Express bill from the wedding, watching transaction declined flash red. The panic would start slow, confused conversation, checking bank balances, then realization hitting like a freight train. My phone rang. Kyle's name lit up the screen. I let it ring 4 times before answering, keeping my voice groggy. "Hello, Roger," Kyle shouted, voice cracking. "Where have you been? The money hasn't shown up." "The landlord portal shows delinquency. We can't pay anything. Did you forget?" I paused, let the silence stretch. "Oh, that. Well, son, bad news. Things are tight this month. My pension got delayed, mix-up at Social Security. Real headache." Stunned silence. "What do you mean tight? The rent's $4,800. "We don't have $4,800. We spent everything on the wedding." I looked out at busy people rushing to work. People who paid their own bills. I know, Kyle. But I can't help this time. You guys are successful entrepreneurs, right? Self-made man, everyone toasted at the wedding. I'm sure you can figure it out. Scuffling sound, then Patricia's voice shrieking through the phone. "Are you joking, Roger? 4,800 minus. Do you know what happens if we don't pay? They'll ruin our credit. We have a reputation in this building." Her voice was ugly. Spoiled child who'd never heard no. "Patricia," I said, voice dropping all pretense. "I'm not bitter. I'm just broke. You wanted me to disappear. Remember? Well, my wallet disappeared with me. We have a lease," she screamed. "You can't just stop paying. Actually, the lease is in your names. You signed it. Your responsibility." "Roger, please," Kyle broke in, sounding like he'd cry. "We literally don't have it. What are we supposed to do?" I gripped my steering wheel, remembering the double shifts, so Patricia could have new clothes, the sacrifices, the love I poured into raising her. "You do what every other adult does, Kyle. Get a job, sell things you don't need. Welcome to the real world." I hung up and tossed the phone aside, sat there breathing in silence. Didn't feel good, but felt necessary. I knew what desperation looked like because I'd seen it in my mirror 30 years ago. For Kyle and Patricia, it looked like a walk of shame into a high-end consignment shop on Michigan Avenue. My private investigator sent photos later. Patricia walked into the velvet vault wearing huge sunglasses, clutching that Chanel bag I bought her for her birthday. "Cost me $4,000. She slammed it on the glass counter, nails clicking nervously. "I need cash," she told the clerk. "Wire transfer today." The clerk inspected it with white gloves, pointed out a tiny scratch, mentioned the market was flooded, offered $1,800. Patricia gasped but took it. Signed papers with shaking hands, muttering curses, not at her spending habits, but at me. While she liquidated her closet, Kyle was burning through his contacts. Called his best man, Trevor, some crypto loudmouth with a leased Porsche. "Hey man, little cash flow issue with the startup. Could you float me $3,000 for a couple weeks?" Silence, then excuses. Bad market, liquidity problems, signal breaking up. Trevor hung up. One by one, the special people vanished. They were happy drinking his champagne when it was free, but when the tab came due, they disappeared like smoke. Kyle learned that afternoon he didn't have friends. He had an audience, and the show was canceled. They scraped together the money between pawn shop cash and maxing out credit cards, managed $4,800, paid at 11:59 p.m., 1 minute before automatic eviction filing. They bought 30 days of shelter. But they didn't get jobs, didn't cut expenses, didn't apologize. Just sold vanity and borrowed against future debt to maintain an illusion 1 more month. Next month was coming, and I had no intention of buying any more purses for them to sell. 30 days later, I was standing on the balcony of Unit 41 for the last time. Wind off Lake Michigan whipped my collar. On the table inside sat a manila envelope. Final report from my PI photos showed a cheap motel on the city outskirts. Neon signs that buzzed all night, charged by the hour. Far cry from the Ritz-Carlton. In grainy images, I saw the final act. Kyle and Patricia screaming at each other in the parking lot. She was blaming him for the eviction. He was blaming her for the spending. Two parasites who'd run out of host, a black SUV pulled up driven by some venture capitalist with fewer scruples than the others. Patricia threw her suitcase in without looking back, drove away leaving Kyle standing on cracked asphalt, holding a plastic bag, watching his wife and future disappear in exhaust fumes. Kyle was alone now. No wife, no penthouse, no father to call. I stared at the photo of him looking lost and small. For a moment the father in me stirred. This was still my little girl's husband. Maybe I'd been too harsh. Maybe there was another way. Then I remembered their laughter. The walking ATM. The janitor comment. The erasure of my existence from their success story. No, rock bottom was the only solid foundation Kyle had ever stood on. Now he had a choice. Build something real or stay there. Either way, it was his life to live, not mine to subsidize. Dorothy was by the kitchen island with sale documents. Ready to do this, Roger? The buyers were young architects who appreciated structure, didn't care about prestige addresses. They were paying $1.8 million. I signed my name, sealing the deal. That's it, Dorothy said. Wire hits your account this afternoon. High-yield savings with the rest. No. I looked around the empty room. We're starting a foundation, Brennan Scholarship for Trades and Construction. Every cent of this sale goes there. Trade schools, tools for apprentices, kids who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty. Kids who know self-made isn't a slogan, it's what you do when nobody's watching. Dorothy smiled wide. Consider it done. I walked her to the elevator. Took one last look through those rooms where Kyle and Patricia had dreamed of lives they hadn't earned. Felt no ghosts, no nostalgia. Just drywall and glass. A job site finally cleared. My phone buzzed. Text message from Patricia. Dad, please call me. We can work this out. I love you. I stared at the screen. 3 words she should have said months ago. 3 words that came only after consequences arrived. I deleted the message without responding. Some bridges, once burned, can't be rebuilt. Some foundations, once cracked, can't be repaired. I pulled out my phone and scrolled to Vincent, my brother in Ohio. Vincent. Roger. Everything okay in the big city? Everything's perfect, I said. Meaning it for the first time in years. Are the base still biting down at the creek? Vincent laughed. They're jumping in the boat. You thinking of coming down? Not thinking, coming, pack the cooler, get the cabin ready. I'll be there tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow? What about business? The kids? I looked out at Chicago's skyline one last time. Saw the buildings I owned. The empire I'd built. It would run without me. I'm retired, Vincent. Officially, fully retired. I dropped a heavy load today, brother. Very heavy. Now I'm light. Just want to fish, drink beer I bought with my own money, talk to a man who knows my name. Get on the road then, Roger. Fish are waiting, beer's cold. I hung up and walked to the front door. Stepped into the hallway, pulled it shut. The latch clicked, not keeping me out but closing a book on a long, sad story. Took the elevator to the lobby. Neil was at the desk, straightened when he saw me. Mr. Chairman, everything's satisfactory, Neil. New owners take possession tomorrow, treat them well. Walked out to my old pickup parked in front. Dusty, dented bumper, cracked leather seats that smelled like coffee and sawdust. Smelled like home. Started the engine, deep, throaty rumble in my chest. Put it in gear, merged into traffic heading south toward highway, toward Ohio, toward water. I wasn't a walking ATM anymore. Wasn't a shadow or embarrassment. I was Roger Brennan, builder. Father who'd finally done the hardest part of the job. I'd let go. As the city faded in my rearview, shrinking to memory on the horizon, I took a deep breath. Air tasted sweet, like the future. For the first time in years, the road ahead was wide open. The hardest thing I ever built wasn't a skyscraper. It was the resolve to say no to my own flesh and blood. Sometimes true love looks like an eviction notice. It's letting your children fall so they can learn to stand. Never trade your dignity for a seat at a table where you're not respected. That's the one asset you must never liquidate. When you teach your children that money solves everything, don't be surprised when they see you as nothing but a solution to their problems. The moment you realize you're funding someone's disrespect for you is the moment you discover your true worth isn't measured in dollars.